So good evening, everyone, once again. So we have like 1 or 2 more minutes before we begin our classes for this week. So tell me, how was your week? Anybody wants to volunteer and tell us how your week was? How about Tejasvi?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you can call me Maria, that's fine. I'm not ma'am. Tejasvi, can you tell me how your week was? Was there anything
Nice.
special?
Nothing, ma'am. It's nice.
Oh, that's good to know everything going as usual.
Yes,
Great.
ma'am.
Okay, then Samar, you are with the face of a rabbit. Okay, tell us, how was your day?
Sister, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, how was your day? What happened? Anything special happened today?
Good sister.
Okay, it was good. So anybody else? Guys, feel free to talk, okay? So as you know, we are a team, so you don't have to hesitate to speak to each other. Even if you're level 1 or level 2, interact freely and think that we are a team. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else wants to share about their day? How about Nutana?
Nothing special, sister, as usual.
Okay, as usual. So most of us are having an usual week and a usual day, I see. Okay, that's good because normalcy is also great sometimes. Okay, since it is time, let's begin today's class. As always, we'll have 2 breakout rooms, which I have opened. You can, level 1 students, please enter that, and level 2, go to level 2 breakout room, and your respective classes will begin there soon. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Nitin, you can join level 2 meeting room, breakout room. And Thrishit, you are level 2 only, right?
Yes, sister.
You are level 2, right?
Yes, sister.
Okay. Okay. Then you can also join level 2 breakout room.
Yes, sir. Yes, sister.
Yeah. So today, Thrishit, I think it's the first class you're attending in level 2, right?
Yes, sister.
Yeah, okay. That's okay. Um,
Sister,
yes.
you have You have all classes recordings?
I do.
Sister, can you send me?
I'll send you later, okay? I'll send it to you.
Okay, sister.
Yeah, that's good. It is great that you want to learn. Yeah, so before we begin, I'll just tell you what are all the topics that we have covered so far. We have learned about if-else statements, loop, uh, about range, like for loop and while loop, and about range and jump statements. Uh, do you know what these are? Do you have any idea?
No, sister.
Okay. So, Trishul, what I'll do is I'll just tell you uh, in a short summary, okay? So,
Okay, sister.
what if-else statement do is that if-else statements are conditional statements. In Python, it helps us make a decision between one choice and another choice. That is a decision-making statements, conditional statements. That is if-else statement. And then next we have loops. Loops mean repeating a task or repeating a statement over and over again. So we have two types of loop. It is for loop and while loop. For loop, we say that repeat this for this number of time. Okay, maybe 10 times or 20 times like that. We give a number and we repeat that for a number of times in for loop. For while loop, in while loop, we give a condition. We repeat a statement many number of times until a condition is true. Okay, that is the difference. We have covered if-else statement, which is used to make different decision, and loop statements, which are used to run a statement again and again, uh, based on a condition in while loop and for a particular number of time in for loop. And then what else have we learned? Yeah. Then we have learned about jump statements. Jump statements are break statement and continue statement. These two statements will be used inside this looping statements that are end the loop, stop the repetition. Okay. In the next, you can learn later on with the recordings, or you can contact me after about the classes that you have missed, and it's okay. We can learn together. Don't worry about it. And while loop, for loop, and range and break statements, you can learn later. Break and continue statement. But for today, what we are going to learn is about nested if-else statement. I have told you about if-else statement, right? It is related to that other loop part that we do not need for today's class. Trisha, did you get a general idea of if-else statement?
Mm, No, sister.
Okay, it's okay.
Then
Yeah.
I will. I'll see the videos and I will tell you.
Okay, that's fine. I'll share my screen. Okay. Okay. Can you see this? Can you see my screen now? Sure. Okay, I hope it's visible. See, we won't be able to go deeply into if-else statement right now, but to learn about nested if-else nested if-else statement, we need to know a little bit. We need to know what if-else statements do. So I'll briefly tell you what it is. So this in this we are getting input and assigning the input to a variable. This part we learned in level 1. I hope you remember that. First, we are taking an input, and this part is the if-else statement. So its syntax is the grammar of the code, how we write it. We wrote if, and then we wrote a condition and put a colon. This is a basic syntax. So we write if and then put a condition. And if that condition is satisfied, then the statements under it, we give a tab space and print some write some statements below the if statement. Those statements come under the if block, that come under if, and will be executed if condition is true. And if that is not met, if this condition, this one is not met, then else the statements under the else block will be executed. Where is all students in the line? Okay. Yeah. So did you understand, Rishir?
Yes, sister.
Okay. I hope you got the basic idea. Then we'll move on to today's topic, that is nested if else. Yeah. Nitin and Trishir, both of you can ask me any doubts. Both of you can ask me any doubts if you have.
Okay, sister.
Okay. This is the nested if else, today's topic. Yeah. For the recap, last week we learned about while loop, break statements, and continuous statements, as I said before. I hope you got the gist of it. Next, today we are going to learn about nested if else, and then we are going to differentiate between normal if else statement and nested if else statement. And then we are going to answer a question and then summarize today's class and have an assignment for the next week. That's our agenda for the day. Yeah. So let's start. Nested if else statement. Okay, I'll read this and okay, I hope you will, I guess you will understand because it's a little bit simple itself. So nested if else statements, when an if statement is checked inside another if statement, allowing you to handle different scenarios based on multiple conditions, then it is nested if else statements. Inner if else, inner if condition will be checked only if the outer if condition is true. It is useful to make complex decisions in your script. So even if you feel a bit confused while reading this, don't be. It is very simple. Nested if else statements means using a if else statement inside an if else statement. So how does it work? It's quite simple really. We have an example here. So first we need to understand what nested if else statement is. Nested if else statement is using a if else statement inside an if else statement. So what will happen is we'll give an if condition, right? And then if it is satisfied, the statements under that will be executed. And in that statements in the if block, we are adding another if statement. So there are now two conditions to be checked. So if the first condition is checked, then it will go down and then another condition will be checked. And then if that is also true only, the statements under it will be executed. That is the idea of nested if else statement. Okay, now we'll understand more about nested if else statement if we learn when we use nested if else statements. Okay. The first case is when we need to make a decision based on the result of a previous decision, where the result of the first decision affects which direction we want the program to go. That is one scenario. And the second is certain conditions should only be checked if the previous condition are met. So it is compulsory that the first condition should be met in order to go further. That is the two things. One is to make a decision based on the previous decision, that is controlling the flow of the program. Another one is to ensure that the second condition is checked only if the first is met. These are the two scenarios that we used, and we have an example for each. We'll look at that, and in Colab, we'll see that. Okay. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. So yeah, as I said, the first scenario, first situation where we use it is to make a decision based on the result of a previous decision. Okay, so let us take this example of going somewhere, and we are relating it to the weather. Okay, first we have two variables. One is weather, and the weather is rainy. And the distance to travel is 5 kilometers. Okay, there's only 5, but let's assume it's 5 kilometers. So two variables, and they have the values rainy and 5 kilometers. And the first if else statement is here. You can see. We are telling if weather is rainy. Okay. Can you tell me, Trishul, what this operator is?
When we give means when we give rainy, we give the distance as 5 kilometer. When we give sunny, the distance will become 2 kilometer.
Okay. So actually, good trial, but the problem, it's not like that. You just have to see. See, this is a variable called weather, and we are giving it the value rainy. Okay. Another uh, variable distance, and we are giving it the value 5. See, now these two are not related to each other. Okay. Those are just two variables, separate variables. Now we are having the if statement. We are telling a condition. We are telling it to make a decision based on this condition. If this is equal to operator, okay. If weather is equal to sunny, if the weather is equal to sunny, and another condition, okay, this condition will be checked only if the weather is sunny. If weather is equal to sunny, and if the decision is, sorry, if the distance is less than 2, then transportation equals walk. Transportation is another variable. We are assigning it the value walk. So what we are saying is, if the weather is sunny, then also if the distance is less than 2 kilometers, then we are going to go by walk. Else, see this else is, it comes under, like it is a part of this if else statement. I hope you know about indentation. Indentation means the space we leave, like a tab space we leave from the margin. It separates different blocks of code. So it is important that this if else and these two be on the same level and these two be on the same level. Okay. We make sure that is not different, that is not changed. And as I was saying, if weather is sunny and the distance is less than 2 kilometers, the transportation is walk. Else, transportation is bike. So what we're telling is that if it is sunny and distance is less than 2 kilometers, walk. If it is more than 2 kilometers, uh, if it is like more than that, then we are going by bike. Else. So what will be the other scenario here? If the weather is not sunny. If weather is sunny, we have told what all we should do. And the other scenario that is, if not sunny, in else block, we are saying, again, another if we are giving, if distance is less than 5, transportation is bus. Else, if else, then it will obviously be if distance is more than 5 or equal to 5. More than or equal to 5. Then transportation is car. And then we are printing the mode of transportation. So did you understand what we are trying to do here? Nitin and Trisha, both of you can answer. Did you understand what we are doing here? Yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Now, let me run this. Okay. And we got mode of transportation as car because it is rainy, so it is not sunny. And the distance is not less than 5 kilometers because it is 5 kilometers. So it will be car. It executed else and then another else here. Now, what happens? Tell me, what will happen if I change it to sunny? What will be my answer? Can you tell me?
Bike, bike.
Yep, correct. Good job. We will get it as bike. Great job. Yeah, so that is one scenario when we have to make a decision based on the a previous decision. I hope you got that. And the second scenario where we will need to use this nested if else statement is when a certain condition should be checked only if the previous conditions are met. Okay, so we'll have to have such situations very in various places. For example, think about getting a driver's license. Okay, first thing is that you should be an Indian. That is a first condition. If they are Indian, if that is met, only then we'll go to the next condition. Are they above the age of 18? Then again, uh, they'll get the driver's license. Okay, that is an example. So if they are not Indian, even if they are over the age of 18, then that is of no use. In that way, if only if the first condition is true, then the next decision is to be made. In that situation, also we'll use nested if else statements. Okay, here we have a different example. Okay, first we are setting a variable and assigning it the value 25, a variable called age and assigning it the value 25, and then another variable has permit and we are assigning it true. Okay, you do know that true and false are Boolean values. Okay, yeah, I hope you remember true has a value of 1 and false has a value of 0. Okay, so as permit we are assigning it as true. And then next we have started our if block. It's like if age is greater than or equal to 18. The first condition is if it is greater than or equal to 18. And under that we are giving the second condition. If has permit. Okay. Now you might wonder why have we written just has permit. Can you tell me? Do you know the answer? Why have we just written? We have not written if has permit equals true or if has permit equals false. Why is that?
Because we have assigned a Boolean expression there.
Yeah, since it contains a Boolean expression, so if we just write this value, it will have the meaning that if has permit is true. Okay, if has permit is true, then access equals granted. So, and then else access equals denied because permit required. So here you will understand the flow because under that, if the first condition is met, but the second condition is not met, that is why the problem is permit required. And under below that, we have else statement that comes with this if else statement, the age one. See, this comes here and access is denied because of age restriction. In this example, you can correctly understand how the flow of control goes. Okay, and then we are printing the status of access. Did you understand? Did you guys understand? Okay, and the answer is access is granted because age is 25, which is above 18, and has permit is true. Okay, do you have any doubts till now?
No.
Okay, great. Yeah, then, okay, I'll just stop my screen for a minute. That were the two things that we needed to learn, the uses of nested if statements. Then now let's learn about the difference between if-else statements and nested if-else statements. I am sure that by now, after executing it for a quite number, like after working with if-else statements for quite some time, you might already know what if-else statement is and its features. And now, when we have learned nested if-else statement only, you will probably understand what are different, right? But still, let's actually see what are the difference. If-else statement, a single level of decision is a single level of decision making, and it is used for simpler conditions. Okay, and in nested if-else statements, multiple levels of decision making used for complex conditions where outcome of one decision affects the subsequent decision. Okay, so here you'll have to remember this part. Here it is single level of decision making, and this part it is multiple levels of decision making. That is the first difference. The second difference is that this is used for if-else statements is used for simpler condition, while nested if-else statements are used for more complex conditions. These are the main two differences between these. Okay. Yeah. This is a small, like a representation of how it works. I hope you will understand. Okay, so this blue one is a first if-else statement. This is a representation of nested if-else statements. Okay, so this is the first, like basic if-else statement, and let's say this is if and this is else. Okay, under the if we have one more if-else statement, that is this in this green color. Okay. Yeah. Hello. So we have an if-else statement, and under the if we have another if-else statement, and here we can have another if-else statement. This can be understood as a structure of how nested if-else statements go. Okay. Did you guys understand? Now you can see that in the basic if-else statement, it's very simple, right? Only if and else is there. But here it can be a complex decision making. Now you might tell that, okay, there are just two more conditions involved, right? Actually, it is not like that. See, here we can have another condition inside this. Inside this if-else statement, which is inside another one, we can have another one. So in this way, we can have more and more inside. Okay, so it can be a complex structure. That is the difference, main difference. Yeah. So here we have told that if a statement executes if condition one is true, else execute if condition one is false. That is the syntax, what the syntax basically does. If condition one, execute if the condition one is true, and else execute if the condition one is false. Trishul, I hope this will help you understand a bit more because this is the syntax of if-else statement. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, if you did not understand, please do ask me. And the syntax, you can say, of nested if-else statement is that if condition one is true, and under that we have if condition two. And under that we'll have some various statements, and those statements are executed if both condition one and condition two are true. Okay, and else. Next is else, and that condition that statements under that will be executed if condition 1 is true, if this is true, but this is not true. In that scenario, the statements under this else will be executed. And next, again, we have another else statement, and the the statements under that will be executed if condition 1 is false. Okay? So only if the condition 1 is true, the statements will be assessed. Okay. If that is false, directly this will be executed. Did you guys understand the syntax now? I guess you would already have known it because we have already worked with it. Okay. So now do you have any confusions between the difference of both of these?
No.
Then let's try an example. Okay, this one we will have the answer, but the next one you guys only will have to tell me. Okay, and we'll do that together. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. The question is, check whether the number is positive, negative, or 0. Okay. First, how it is done, I'll just explain. I have written the code here. First, we have a variable I, and we are assigning it the value minus 15. And under that, we have the first if statement. If I is not equal to, this is not equal to operator, if I is not equal to 0, then under that, we have another if statement. If I is greater than 0, print positive. If I, okay, else, that means if I is not greater than 0, print negative. Else, print it's 0. So, you have to understand, if I is not equal to 0, then this will be assessed. If I is equal to 0, that means this condition will be false. Then directly this else statement will be executed. Okay. Now, can you guys tell me what the answer will be?
Negative.
Okay. Yeah. Good job, Nitin. That's the correct answer. Next, Thrishar, please tell me what will happen if I assign this value 242 to the variable I. What will be the answer? You can try to answer, okay? Don't worry about it being correct or wrong. We are learning. So,
I think it's also negative only.
negative. Okay. Let's see how it might work. Okay, we'll go line by line and see. So we have the variable with the value 242. The first condition is if I is not equal to 0. Now we are saying I is 242. Okay, is it true or false? Is 242 equal equal to 0? 242 is not equal to 0, right?
Yes, sister.
Yeah. So then, because this condition is met, we are going to go to the statements below it. Okay. So this is true. So we are going to focus on this part. Now the second condition, inside that if statement, we have another condition, that is, if I is greater than 0. Okay. Now tell me, is 242 greater than 0?
Yes, sister.
Yeah. Then what will happen? The statements under that is executed, right? So then what will
I
happen?
think positive.
Yeah, good job. It is positive. Good job, Trisha. It's amazing that this is the first class and still you're catching on very fast. Amazing job. Keep it up. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood how this works. And then let's try let's try answering a question. Sorry about that. Yeah. The question is classify people according to their age. So, how can we classify people into different categories? We can have a child or a minor, an adult, and a senior citizen. We can have these three classifications, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, my requirement is that I want to classify them based on their age, and I want to take their age as the input. Okay. Now, you guys can tell me the code, and I will write that. Okay. You can start. What should I do first? First, I'll give you a clue. I need to get the input of their age. How can I do that? Yeah, Nitin.
Age equals to
Age equals to
input,
input.
bracket open,
Yep.
uh, int,
Int.
again bracket open,
Yep.
enter your age. Sorry,
Okay.
before the input integer should come, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. Before input, we have to convert the data type into integer. Enter your age.
Enter your age.
Okay, good job. The next, next, what should we do?
If
If
age is greater than
greater than, sorry,
greater than uh, greater than 12,
greater than 12,
then the colon,
yeah.
again next line,
Mhm.
if age age is uh, age is greater than
Greater
or
than,
equal to 18, then uh, um, what function variable should we give for that?
we'll just print what they are. Okay,
Then print
print
uh, print your an adult,
adult. Yeah, then
else
else
print
print
teenager,
teenager. Okay,
else
where here itself?
uh, no the
First,
same alignment of first if condition,
else
else if
if
else if okay. Can we just go with only other condition
just okay, you can do that also.
without having if else conditions in the else thing?
We can have that, yeah.
Then in the else thing, print you are a kid or a child.
So actually we can have it under the if sorry else also, but then now it is under the age of 12. We don't really have to um, differentiate or make a decision here. Uh, if we want, we can make it like under if age is less than 3, you are a baby, or I don't know, less than 1, you are a baby, or whatever you want, and else you are a little kid, something like that. Okay, we can do that. Otherwise, we can just have it like this. Okay, since you do know how to make a nested if else statement, that is our intention to learn. Okay, so just know that if we want, we can do that also. Okay, before I run, okay, Trishir, will you be able to say? Okay, tell me an age, any random age, Trishir.
30.
30. Okay,
Not
now
30. 13.
13.
One.
Okay, okay, okay. Then, Treasure, can you tell me what the output would be? Any guesses?
Uh, as I think it will be as an adult.
Okay, we'll see. It's a teenager. You are only a little bit away. It's fine because yeah, here condition is that if it is more than 12, which it is true, and if it is more than greater than or equal to 18, which is false, so it went to the else statement. It's okay. Good try. Yeah. So I hope you understood how it works, and yeah, that was what we had to learn. Let's share my screen again. Okay. I hope you are more clear about our topic of nested if else after trying a question and seeing some examples.
Yes, sister.
Yes.
Yes, sister.
Okay.
I will try in my mobile also some.
Uh-huh. That's amazing. That's awesome. You can keep on trying. Yeah. Sorry about that. Now, since we have covered all the topics that we had to learn today, let's see a quick summary. So the summary is first, can anyone read this? Can one of you read this? The summary one. Nitin?
Okay, summary one. Nested if else statements allow for handling multiple conditions by placing one if statement within another. This helps make complex decisions based on prior conditions such as checking weather and distance to decide on transportation mode.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you understood. It's just what we learned till now. Does our nested if else statements allows us to make multiple conditions based on previous decisions by putting another if else statements inside an if else statement. Okay, that is the first thing. And the second summary too is that nested if else statements differ from simple if else statements by enabling multiple decision levels. They are used for more complex scenarios where subsequent decisions depend on earlier conditions, such as verifying age and permit status for accessing rights. So, the second summary is about the difference. It's that in nested if else statements, there are different levels, unlike the normal if else statements where there is only one level. And this is used for more complex situations, whereas the first one, the if else statements, are used for very simpler situations. Yeah, so then we have the assignment for this week. that is create a variation quiz. Okay. So do you understand what a variation quiz is, right? You do understand that, right?
Genuinely no.
Okay, that's okay. So variation quiz is like you are going to make a quiz based on different conditions. Okay, I'll give you a quick example. So you are okay, let's say we are going to ask them a question. Okay, we are making a quiz, that means we'll have to get an input as an answer. Let's say first we are having them give input. What is your interest? Let's say sports, one question, one, or let's say entertainment, like, or movies. Let's say movies. Two options, sports or movies. And then we'll have an if statement. If interest equals sports, if interest is sports, then under that we'll have another if statement. That is, which sport are they interested in? Maybe cricket or football. Okay. And then if it is cricket, then under that we'll have a question related to cricket. And otherwise, if it is not that, then we'll have a question related to football or maybe a general question. Okay, general question related to sports. And that can be under the if block. And if it is not sports and if it is entertainment, sorry, if it is movies, then under that we can have a if statement, whether it's Bollywood or Hollywood. And if it is Bollywood, then we can have a question regarding Bollywood movies, or otherwise, then under the else we can have a question regarding Hollywood movies. Something like that. Okay, that is what we are expecting to form a decision-making structure using different, uh, like using nested if statement. Did you understand now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. And don't create this example. It's not that good one either, but still try to come up with your own ideas. And another one thing I have to tell you before going is that you do remember if else statement, right?
Yes, sister.
Yeah, that can also be used inside this. Okay, don't worry that you can only use if else statements under as listed. No, actually, you can use that also. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to say. So, since we have already talked about assignment, then I guess that's it for today's class. We have learned many things today. I hope all of you enjoyed learning it, and you do remember that till the next week and actually forever. And I hope you do work with it. Yeah, so thank you for attending. I had lots of fun learning together with you all, and I hope all of you to enjoy today's class. And you can contact me if you have any doubts at any time, and reach out and we'll work through it together. Yeah, so that is it for today. Thank you so much.